Which brings me to the Problem Child project. I know that one's I'm gonna rip out, and it's not the Problem Child. Like, you'd think that one would be, but no. Hello, my name is Bonnie, and this is my channel, A Knitter Obsessed. This is my knitting podcast where I talk about all things knitting that are currently going on in my life. And yeah, I'm so happy you're here. It's been a while since I filmed a podcast episode. I think by the time this is up on YouTube, it will have been about 4 weeks since my last podcast update, which is about twice as long as I usually like to go. And I am sorry for that. Life has just been absolutely crazy the last summer, this whole summer, honestly. And honestly, it's still crazy. I just have not had time. So, like, today I'm actually filming during the work week, which I don't usually do. So I'm pre-filming a few days early because the weekend when I usually film these and upload them, I have absolutely no time. I'm just booked. And I really don't see it letting up anytime soon. So we're gonna have to get a little creative with when we film because I like doing these and I miss it when I don't do it for a little while. So I'm really excited to be here talking to you guys. Now, it has not been 4 weeks since my last episode, so if you missed it, I did post an episode last week where I sorted out my entire yarn stash, went through all of it, and got it sorted up into my new cubbies. I think you can see just the corner of one of them here. And I am so happy with my new setup. I've had a lot of fun filming that video, so if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and go check it out. It's a good time. I love videos where people just show off all their yarn because, I don't know, it's sort of like scratches the itch when I can't buy the yarn myself, I guess. But if that's your thing, go check it out. It's a good time. And with that, I'm trying out a new filming location. So eventually I'm going to rearrange this whole room and I'll have a nice couch here instead of this dresser so I can film on it. But the idea is to film around my yarn and show off my yarn a little bit. So also just the lighting in this room is nicer than the lighting in most other places in my house, so figured I would take advantage of it if I could. But yeah, with that, let's get into it. I, despite it being 4 weeks, have no finished objects, and there are reasons for that, which we will get into. Well, I have half a finished object. I have one sock. It's my first sock too, so I'm very excited about that. But I do have quite a lot of whip progress, and yeah, it should be a good time. So I think I'll start with the socks since, like I said, I have one finished. So let me grab it here. But this is my first ever sock. It has mismatched toes and heels, and I haven't woven in any of the ends or blocked it or anything yet. I'm waiting till I get the second one done. But this is the I'm So Basic sock pattern by Summer Lee of Summer Lee Designs. I knit the large size. There are 4 sizes. And so the large is the 72 stitch count sock, which according to the way she has you measure your foot and everything is what my size should be. It has 2x1 ribbing on the cuffs. And then just the heel flap and gusset construction. So, which I can't comment on too much because this is my only heel construction I've ever done. So it seemed good. I liked it. I don't know if it's my favorite heel yet because I haven't tried any others. I knit this on US 1 needles and I did the magic loop method. So I had nice long ones, was able to do magic loop. What else? Oh, it's knit with Knit Pick Stroll. The main color is Stroll hand painted and the color Supernova. And the contrasting colors, I believe, are the color Guppy and the color Blue Yonder. I say believe because they came in a mini pack and they didn't actually have labels on them. So I had to look it up on the website and just sort of compare and try and guess what the names were. But I'm pretty sure those are right. And then I'm almost completely done with the second one as well. So today on my lunch break, I got it to where I'm actually exactly ready to start the toe. So I need to cut my main yarn and add in the orange. And you'll notice I did sort of alternating colors on them, so it'll have a little orange toe to balance out. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, I'm really happy with these. I think they're nice. They seem like really nice sturdy fabric. I think my tension's pretty good. I will say when I tried on this one, it seems like it might be just a little bit big for me. Like, it fits, it's fine, but it like just fits. It's not like snug really. Like, it is like the same size as my foot, and I'm pretty sure with socks you want a little bit of negative ease. And I just am not sure that I'm getting that, and I just have this feeling it's going to stretch out really quickly. And it also just, yeah, I don't know. That's my take on it, but like I said, I've never owned a pair of handmade socks before, so it's very possible that that's just normal. And I don't know. I guess I'm excited. I think on my next ones, I'll try like a 64 count sock and see how I like it. And then just between the two, hopefully I'll be able to, you know, really dial in my preferred sock formula and get that figured out, which I'm excited to do because I had a ton of fun knitting these. Actually, I knit the first one super fast. So I cast on this sock actually first, my in progress one. And I knit all the way to where I needed to work on the heel in like 2 days or like a day. But I was chatting with a friend when I got to the heel part and didn't want to, you know, take the time to learn a whole new skill and figure out how to make a heel while I was talking to my friend. So I just cast on the other one while we were hanging out and finished this one first as a result. But by the end of less than a week, I had the whole first sock done and a good chunk of this sock, and I would have had them all the way done a while back, but I kind of knit a little too fast, and this is a much smaller gauge than I'm used to, much tighter, you know, just all of that, and I ended up really kind of messing my hands up for a little bit and had to slow down and take a bit of a break. So we're working on it again now. It's pretty strictly become my work project, so I just leave these at work and work on them on my breaks, and that's about the right amount of knitting that I'm not really hurting my hands at all. Same with like, I'll take these in the car for driving or something, but they're not, I don't think I can necessarily knit socks as like a main like monogamous knit at this point. I think I need to, you know, get my hands used to them first. So I'm using those ways to kind of keep myself from overdoing it. I did weigh my yarns here because I'm still going to use a little bit more of the orange, but I'm done with the blue, and I used about 10 grams of a 20 gram skein, so almost exactly half. And so, you know, that's good for more heels, toes, and cuffs. And then I used 60 grams of the main color, so I've got about 40 left. So yeah, still a good amount of yarn. Probably, you know, find some other socks to use this in, or a scrappy project or something. But yeah, those are my I'm So Basic socks by Summer Lee. All right, so next, I figured I'd just give you a really quick update because I don't have much to say about it, but on my Hue Shift Afghan, so this is section number 3. I'm still working on it. I had predicted that I would have this section done by my next podcast episode, and I lied. I still have 5 more squares left to go on it. And the truth is, I just sort of lost a little bit of steam on this project. So I was plugging along on it for quite a while, and then one day I set it down, and I think that was about when I started the socks. Like, I just needed a little bit of a change of pace. So I've been thinking about it lately though, so I think it's like about to swing back around, and I am really hoping to have this done this month. So, and for no reason, there's not a deadline or anything. I feel like my brain would be very happy if I wrapped this up soon. So my goal in my head is to have it finished by the end of August, but as with all things, we'll see. But I guess quick recap, if you've been here a while, I talk about this in so many podcast episodes, so go ahead and check those out. I'll link the main one up here. It's in the thumbnail, so it's pretty easy to find when I'm talking about this blanket. But this is my Hue Shift Afghan by, I think it's Kerin Dimeler-Laurence. If I butchered the name, I will have it linked up here. I didn't look that one up ahead of time, so I'm going off memory. And it's a kit that I bought from Knit Picks. The whole thing's knit in Knit Picks, I believe, Mighty Stitch. Let's see. No, I don't have a label right there, but that's okay. In a rainbow of colors, and once you knit 4 panels, you put them all together, and it makes this beautiful rainbow gradient blanket. So It's a gift for one of my nieces. I'm very excited about it. It's a lot of fun to knit, so I do highly recommend it. But yeah, like I said, just a quick update to show you guys I am still working on it, and I still have plans to get it finished this month, but I don't want to go into it too much because there's just so much of me talking about this blanket at this point. So I'm going to move on quickly from this one. Hopefully I'll have a nice big update for you guys once I finish it. I'm hoping I might just not bring this one up again until I finish it. So that's the plan. All right. Next, this was not cast on in my last podcast episode, but I had talked about it being an upcoming plan. And the thing is, I'm going to show you that I have quite a bit of work on it, but I'm going to warn you just straight up front that I'm planning to frog this. So this is sort of, when I'm saying I don't have any finished objects this episode, it's because there are a few updates of this similar vein where I'm just not 100% happy with some of the things I've been making lately, which is fine, and it happens, and I'm enjoying the process. Like, I really genuinely am. I'm not just trying to convince myself. I feel like those words sounded like I was trying to talk myself into it. But no, I really am enjoying the process. All these projects I'm going to talk about, I'm loving, and I'm having a ton of fun. I just know that if I keep them going the way they are, they're not going to be the best that they can be. Like, I just know that it's going to be worth the time to take these out, make some tweaks, and make these into items I'm going to absolutely love. So this mess of a project, because I'm dropping stitches, I'm, all sorts of stuff, because I had no intention of continuing to make it. So, but this is the beginnings of the, what's it called? The Painted Calathea. It's a wrap by, again, apologies if I'm mispronouncing the name, but Sonja Bargielowska. And it's this really beautiful, you knit it lengthwise. And so it's very, very long. It's a lot of stitches on your needles. I took the needle tips out because I knew I was frogging it, which is why it's just falling apart here. But it's knit with this really pretty traveling slip stitch design over its reverse garter stripes. Oh, hide my face so you can see it. So I think the reverse garter is really cool because it makes it look like there are more stripes than there are. And then the neat thing is, because of the way it's constructed, you can't see any of the slip stitch on the back. And so the back is just plain stripes. So this is knit, my main color, the one traveling up the front, is Ski Yarn's Lobel, which is a yarn I picked up in Japan. It's a wool acrylic blend. It's really pretty color. I really, really like this yarn. It's got like this very light, like fluffy texture to it, and it's nice. And I'm pairing that with the Fiber Co's Acadia in 4 colors. And so the 4 colors you see here are, I wrote them down, Thunder Bay, which is the dark blue green, Poppy, which is the red, Orange Storm, which is the orange, and then Yellow Birch, which is this really bright yellow color. And the reason I'm frogging it is just due to the yellow birch. So I love these colors. I think it's stunning. I think it's got this like really fun rainbow, like I love them all together. But the yellow birch is just like a hair too bright for me compared to the other colors. I just feel like it's all I can see when I look at it. And I feel like because it's all I can see, it kind of takes away from the rest of the pattern. And I was just gonna keep going, and then it was just in the back of my mind that I wasn't happy. And I finally was like, if you're not happy, you're not happy. Like, you don't need to be able to justify why you're not happy. Like, yes, it's a beautiful color. Yes, it looks really cool. But if it's not what you want, it's not what you want. So once I finally like gave myself that pep talk, I felt a lot better about it. And I knew I just needed to, like I said, rip it out and find another color. And so here's what I've come up with. I'm going to show you first of all, here's the 4 colors for the Arcadia together as they are now. Again, stunning. Just, I feel like the brightness of this combo overpowers the Lobel a little bit. And the Lobel is what, you know, I was sort of trying to showcase because that's my special vacation yarn. So the new color I got is called Butterfly Bush. And here's it. It's this really pretty green color. Nice muted green. And so here's what it looks like with everything held together. And you can see it just tones the whole thing down a lot. So now the orange is the one that pops the most, but I feel like the orange really draws out some cool colors when it's paired with the Lobel in a way that the yellow birch wasn't. So I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm really excited for this. I had plans. Oh, sorry, just a moment. So just so you have an idea, here's it with the Lobel together. And so this is hard to hold. You can kind of see now the color palette we're going with. So like I said, the orange is still bright, but it's just a lot less bright than it was with the yellow. So I'm really happy with this. My plan, because when I started this, I was just cruising on it. And it's a lot of fun to knit. I really like the pattern. Because you're knitting it longwise, like each row takes a while, but you also just have this knowledge that like it's a scarf. It doesn't need to be that thick, and it's knit on decently large needles. I think it's a US 10. Yeah, it's US 10. So large needles, most of it's garter stitch. It just flies, and it's addictive with the stripes. Now it's just cruising. And when I decided I didn't like the yellow birch, I was like, that's fine. We'll order a new one. We'll like rip this out right away, get going. And I was 100% going to do that, and I ended up stalling because of the problem I ran into with the next couple patterns I'm going to talk to you about. But yeah, so that's the plan, is once I get, like I said, the next couple patterns that I'm going to talk about, once I get the problems with them figured out, then we will be right back on with this guy. And I'm genuinely just, I think it's going to be great. I really want to have it ready for fall. I just think it'll be so nice to like wrap up in. And I really think the Acadia and the Lobel have a really interesting contrast with each other. So the Lobel is very matte, it's very light, it's very fluffy. Whereas the Acadia is, it's got a little bit of shine to it, it's got a little bit of drapiness. And I just think the two together is giving this very, very interesting texture. So actually, let me just say, I said the Lobel was a wool and acrylic blend. The Acadia is 60% wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. It's DK weight yarns. This is a 50-gram skein, and you get 133 meters or 145 yards. So yeah, with the alpaca and the silk, this definitely has a lot more drape to it than the Lobel does, but I do like the two together. I think it's really interesting. So that's that. Like I said, really excited to work on that. It just hasn't been in the cards for me just yet. So we're going to have that on hold for a little bit. Which brings me to the Problem Child project. I know that one's I'm gonna rip out, and it's not the Problem Child. Like, you'd think that one would be, but no. The Problem Child in question, and I have it on a couple of needles because I do want to try it on and show you what my problem is. But it is, I have a lot of strings going on here. Let's put the yarn in my lap, that'll help. Oh boy. It is my Tombo Tee by Florence Miller. So as you can see, last time I talked about this, I think I was just about ready to split for sleeves, or I had just split for sleeves, one or the other. But this is my Tombo Tee. It's a basic raglan t-shirt. Well, not raglan, sorry, that's completely wrong. Ignore the word raglan. It's actually, so it's a basic knit t-shirt, but it's got these really cool sleeves that I really like, where you make a little like saddle detail, and then it has just increases for the sleeves only, which makes them just come right down straight here. And then it ends with a little bit of straight raglan shaping at the end. But the fit of the upper body is really, really cool, and it's why I wanted to knit this shirt. I'm knitting it in Knit Picks Cotton Merino in the colors Dusty Blue Whale, Clover Green, and Buttercup. So yeah, colors I love, stripes I love, the feel of the yarn I love. My problem with it is that it's just too big. So if you look at the pictures of the pattern pictures when Florence is wearing it, it's definitely has positive ease, but it's not a ton of positive ease. It's just sort of skimming her body. It's a nice, comfortable looking fit. And that was what I was hoping to get. So I didn't want something seriously oversized, and I didn't want a lot of extra fabric. I wanted something that just looked nice and like almost like a little bit tailored to my sizing. And as I was knitting this, it just felt like I was knitting a lot of fabric. Like I was just, that's what it seemed like. And it's not a gauge issue. My gauge is fine. My gauge is pretty dead on to the pattern. The issue is just that I'm in between sizes. And so I'm basically right on the cusp where if I knit the size 2, I would have almost no ease at all, which also isn't what I want. I don't want a fitted t-shirt. But if I knit the size 3, I have a full like 5.5 inches of positive ease, which is just, I think in my head, I would like maybe 2 inches of positive ease. I think that would be ideal. And so I tried it on because I was like, maybe it's not that bad. And so I'm going to try it on for you guys. And like I said, I have it on 2 needles, so I have a little bit of wiggle room here. And I'll just kind of come up here. But you can just, it's going to be hard to show you, isn't it? You can just see I feel like I'm swimming in it a little bit. And it's just, I thought about maybe doing some waist shaping, but I feel like even if I do that, it'll just be baggy through here. And yeah, I'm just not in love with it. And it's already got a lot of hours in it, which makes me sad. But you can see like the shoulder fit is quite nice. Like it does, I like the design of the shirt. I want to own this shirt. It will be knit eventually. But I just think at this point, my best bet is to frog it and to knit something kind of in between the size 2 and the size 3. So like, I'm thinking I'll knit it completely to the size 3 measurements until the final raglan increases, and then I'll only increase like halfway, or like increase to the right stitch count. And I think that'd be fine, because even if I lose a little bit of depth, I have a lot of room in this underarm. Like this depth is fine. So like, I think even if I lost a few rows, it would be okay. Basically, it's gonna take a little bit of math. And I was just so bummed out when I realized, where I was at with this pattern. So I haven't done the math yet. I haven't thought about it too much, because I needed to like put it in a little bit of a timeout for a minute. But now that it's been in timeout, I feel pretty confident. Like putting it on now, I'm just looking at it and I just know I won't be happy with this. And so I know I'm making the right decision, and I know I can figure it out. Like I know I can do the math and I can get something that I'm gonna love. Yeah, it'll be fine. But I love the fabric, I love the colors, I love everything about it. So, once I get the fit right, it'll be fabulous. So this is, like I said, the Tombo Tee by Florence Miller. But it will be going away very soon. So let me again detangle myself. So the huge problem though with that was I am going to Flock Fiber Festival in a couple of weeks. And so I've got my tickets, got my Airbnb booked, going with a friend, meeting her up there. And the Tombo Tee was what I was knitting to wear to Flock. So it was already going to be tight with, how much very small needle stockinette I still had to do to get it done in time. And I was kind of stressed. And then I realized it wasn't gonna fit. And I was just like, sure. well, this sucks. Like, I'd been really kind of panicking trying to get it done. I realized all of a sudden it wasn't going to happen. So you would think, I should just be like, it's okay. I have other knitted items. I can wear other things I've already knit. It's going to be fine. And that's where I was at. And I was thinking I'd wear my ranunculus and it would look great and not a problem. But then I didn't do that and I cast on something instead. So I am in the process of currently semi-panic knitting the, what's it called? The Ilana Camisole. So this is a pattern by Masha Ziablikova, and it's an all over cabled, these little teeny tiny cables, camisole. And so before I talk about this too much, I want to have a talk with you guys. So when I purchased this pattern, I was tired. I hadn't been, I'd had a really rough week. I fell in love with this picture a while back and just favorited it without like really looking into the pattern at all. And I was looking for something to cast on. I had just gotten pretty upset about my Tombo Tee. Saw that some people had knit it in a week or two, purchased it, moved on. And it wasn't until after I'd purchased it and honestly cast it on and knit quite a bit of it, because each size is a separate file. And so I just found my size file and didn't look at the rest of them at first. But I realized after a little, I was fairly into the project, that this might be one of the least size inclusive patterns I have ever seen. Like, unreasonably so. So it goes, at the time of me buying the pattern, it went up to a 41.25, I believe, inch bust size, which is just awful. Like, oh my gosh, it's awful. I would not have bought the pattern if I had realized that, because I don't think that's right. And there were so many comments, people being like, I want to knit this, can you offer it in bigger sizes? And I don't know, I felt really bad about it. She has, since I bought the pattern, which was only a week ago, released an update that expanded the sizing a little bit. I think it's up to maybe 44 inches. I might be wrong. I think it's around there. That might not be the exact size. Which is getting better, and I'm hoping that it means that she is working on bringing the sizing up, because it's a stunning pattern. Like, I am so excited to be able to knit it, and I just want everyone else to be able to knit it too. And so I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt and thinking that maybe, she's slowly adding extra sizes one by one as she's, and it's just a longer process. I wish she'd done it up front, obviously, but I will, give some leeway for her, providing these updates. So that being said, before I got the update on the size, I was just going to show you guys the pattern and maybe not like overly talk about it. Like, sure, I've already paid for it and sort of done like the financial support of it, but I don't then need to like advertise it necessarily on my podcast. And so I was thinking I would just sort of like not give it much attention, just kind of show you guys, let you know what I'm doing, maybe have this conversation, but then kind of move on. But since it does seem like she's increasing the sizing, I will talk about the pattern just a little bit in good faith that she is going to continue increasing the sizing. So that's my spiel. Hopefully you stuck around. If this isn't, something you want to like delve into, if this isn't what worries you in your knitting journey, that is okay. I'm not trying to like put that on anyone. It's something that worries me and, that I try to keep an eye out for, but that doesn't mean I'm trying to tell you need to. But I am knitting this in Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Plum Clay. I'm not 100% sure that the merino is the best choice for this. Like, I think maybe the cotton merino would have been a bit nicer since it's a camisole and I live in a very hot place. But like I said, panic knitting this, the merino is what I have. So, and I absolutely love this color. I think it's stunning. It's this like very muted purple that's got these nice brown undertones, hence the plum clay. And I think it's so pretty. And I think the merino really does show off these little cables really, really spectacularly. You start by knitting the front two triangles, and then you pick up stitches along the strap and knit the back, the two back triangles, and then you join it all in the round, knit in the round like, a bit. And then there are these really, I think, this is what made me fall in love with the pattern, but this really nice shaping. I don't know how to show it really, but the bust shaping in this is just so, there we go. So pretty. It just sort of, the cables just flow right into it, and it just sort of curves around the side here in a really, really nice way. It's very deep V, but it's really pretty, and everyone I saw that knitted it looked amazing in it, and I'm very excited to own it. And honestly, I think just the way the cables grow out of this, there's no additional edgings on it, and so the edging basically is these cables along the side form the finishings on the side, which I just think is really, really clever and really effective. Like, it just looks so neat and tidy, and yeah, it's very well designed. Which, like I said, is why I want her to offer more sizes. Like, I mean, she absolutely knocked the design out of the park. I just want her to make sure everyone can knit it now. So, but anyways, I need to get this done in a week. So I'm currently filming this on Thursday, August 1st, a couple days before you guys will see it. And I leave for Flock on the 9th, and it absolutely needs to be blocked because it is cables. So I need this to be done preferably on the 7th so that I can block it, dry it, and pack it. But no later than the 8th, in which case I will block it that night. And I'm supposed to be leaving for the airport from work, so maybe I'll take it to like my dad's house, which is close to where I work or something, and finish blocking it so I can grab it on my way to the airport. We'll see. Like I said, I got the bust shaping all the way done. Now I just need to knit in pattern until I'm done. I'm going to knit it quite a bit further than the pattern calls for because it is very, very, very cropped in the pattern, and that would be a bit too bold for me. And so I'm gonna knit it probably twice as long of this section as the pattern calls for, which even that I think will still be cropped. That's how cropped it is in the original. But it should look really nice. So I'm trying to go for the point where it's like right at the bottom of my waist, like right where I start to come out for my hips. I would like to stop it there. But yeah, I'm enjoying the knit. It's going flying by. I'm knitting it on US 4 needles, which, if you've been with the podcast for a while, there is the saga of the fact that my US 4s are the only tips that I don't have my interchangeable metal tips for. And no, I haven't found them yet. So my US 4 tips ran away from me months ago. They just disappeared. And I've rearranged my living room since then. We've like spring cleaned everything. They have not shown back up. They're legitimately gone. Like, I don't know. And so I had bought these wooden ones in a panic because I lost the metal ones right before I took to Japan, and I needed to have needles, for the plane. Like, I can't not have needles. And so that's what I'm using for this because I don't have any metal ones to use. The only bummer is these are a fixed set, not my interchangeables, and the cord is slightly too long on this little negative ease camisole to be able to comfortably knit in the round. You can see how dangly they are here. So, but they're not big enough for magic loop. So I've been doing traveling loop, which is when you just have the one loop and then you reset it whenever it runs out, which is just, not my preferred knitting method. On top of that, the wooden needles slow me down, hurt my hands a little. They don't have like the same like weight balance as my metal. And then one of them has a little bit of a sharp spot where the needle meets the join, where the needle meets the cable, and it does want to snag on my yarn. So again, if I had any time at all, I would just buy new needles and wait for them and start the project at that point. I think if I had my way, I would stick with wooden needles because that's what I'm getting gauged with, and I don't want to mess with my tension. But I miss my metal ones. I need to replace those tips, I think, at this point. I think I just need to buy new ones. It's time. It's fine. But yeah, it'll be it's fine, and it's gonna get done. I'm determined. I will finish the shirt. So it's a little tiny right now. My husband saw it and he was like, how is that going to fit you? And I was like, trust the process, man. It's got negative E's, it's gonna be okay. And I did try it on last night. I put half the stitches on some scrap yarn, tried it on, and it does fit. It is, I mean, it's tight. I do think, I've never knit anything with negative E's before, so I think the tightness is a little surprising. And I think I would have been fine either in this size or one size up. Like, I think both probably would have looked nice on me. But it does fit. It looks really, the shaping looks really good. It covers my bra straps nicely. It comes down like lower in the back, but not so low that you can see your bra, which I think is a very nice touch. But yeah, so that's the Ilana Camisole. Like I said, I highly recommend the pattern. We'll see how much I recommend it going forward, though. It will 100% depend on the designer and whether she continues to make some updates. So yeah, so that is what I got for you. Those are all of my projects right now. I do have another project that is currently hibernating. That's my wishbone sweater, but it's still too hot to work with the mohair. So I think that one's just on hiatus until fall at this point, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. It'll be stunning. It's not even a sweater I'll be able to wear until like winter. So if we wait till fall, that's okay. But I did just remember I have one more thing to show you. I have a swatch. So this is a swatch of Noro Rika, just this guy, which is one of the yarns I got while I was in Japan. This is in the color 10, and it is 57% wool, 22% alpaca, and 21% silk. So I picked this up when I was in Japan along with some other yarns. We already talked about the Lobel, and I've just been staring at it on my bookshelf ever since and trying to decide what to do with it. And what I have come up with is I want to make this into a sweater number 14, sweater number 14 v-neck by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So it's funny, I have seen that sweater go around Ravelry quite a bit, and I was never super excited about it. Like, I liked it, but I was like, eh. But then I was going through the project pages and at some of the, versions of it various knitters have made, and I was like, oh wait, this sweater looks so good on like everybody. Like, it's just cozy, it's oversized, it's fantastic. And then I was thinking with this one, it's going to have a decent bit of drape with the alpaca and the silk, and it'll just look so good in that big oversized sweater. It was I knit this up on US, I think 10 needles. Pretty much exactly got gauge, which is great. And yeah, I am looking forward to casting this on. I need to finish up a few things, obviously. At least the Ilana Camisole, and I honestly might cast it on after that and just work on this and the Tombo Tee at the same time, because it'll just be nice to have something woolly on the needles. Yeah, I wanted to show you that because that is an upcoming project for sure. I'm really excited about it. I'm a little worried I won't have enough yarn just because I have 3 of these and they have like, what is it? 320 meters each. So I have 960 meters, which is a lot, and it should be fine. Like, I really think I'll be fine. The only reason I'm worried about is because of how oversized the sweater is. But worst come to worst, I pick up another one of these if I'm running out. Like, it's already varied colors. Like, I don't think you would notice a color lot shift, and I don't think I'm gonna run out of yarn, but like, I will just buy more if I need to. for this project. So I would like it to look the way, I don't want to have to do like a less oversized or a shorter sweater for this. Like, I think it needs to be all the way oversized or it won't work. So happy to just, you know, supplement if I need to. But yeah, with that, I think that actually is all that I have for you guys. Lots of knitting. I will pretty much only be knitting on that Ilana Camisole though for the next week. And that's okay. I'm having fun doing it. So, but yeah, and next weekend I will be at Flock. So I'm so excited. I've never been to a yarn festival before. So if you have any advice or tips for me, I'd love to hear them. And if you're going to Flock, you know, maybe I'll see you there. So let me know in the comments. If you're going to be at Flock, let me know. I'll try and say hi. If you can always come up to me and say hi if you see me there. I am an remarkably shy and awkward person. So if you come up to say hi and I seem a little tongue-tied and a little awkward, that is because I, as a human being in my default state in the world, am kind of awkward. It has nothing to do with you. Even my friends and family, whom I love dearly and I know well, I am just so weird. I don't mean to be, but that's okay. So I would love to meet you guys, I promise, and it'll be a lot of fun going with my friend Katie, and we're gonna spend some time in Seattle and just hang out, and I'm so looking forward to it. So gotta plan some knitting so I know what to buy when I'm there, actually. It'll be very exciting. But yeah, with that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked anything in this video, please give it a like. It helps other people on YouTube find this video. And yeah, like I said, comment if you're going to Flock, comment what your plans are. Are you guys moving towards more woolly projects? Because I can like feel myself, I barely knit any summer projects. Like, it seems silly to say that I'm ready for wool, but I kind of am. I kind of always am. But yeah, anyways, with that, hope you guys are enjoying your summer. Hope you're having a lovely day. Hope you're getting some knitting in. And I will see you next time. Bye.